Today, we'll show you how to replace the user interface on this Frigidaire dishwasher. Be sure to visit ApplianceVideo.com, where you will find thousands of repair videos on the latest technology. And for a limited time, you can save big on an annual membership and take advantage of all of our premium benefits. ApplianceVideo.com. Do it right the first time. The main reasons why you'd be replacing your user interface is if some of the buttons will not work, it will not start, or it could be purely cosmetic. To begin the repair, we must first remove the front panel. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the water. You will need the following tools to complete this repair. To begin, first, let's open the door. Now, one thing you are going to notice is that there are different size screws around the panel in order to remove or separate the front panel. Now, we do have to separate this in order to access the internal components. Now, to begin, we are going to take off the two bottom screws here. These are both Phillips. Be careful when you do this. I highly recommend take the bottom, move to the front, take one off while holding it, do that, and then we'll slide it off so that you can see what I'm doing. So, we'll start with the bottom one here. Do the other bottom one. Now, I am going to move to the front. We are going to do the other Phillips screw, but when I do it, I'm going to clamp this together with my hand. We'll set this Phillip to the side. I'm going to put my knee underneath it, and I'm going to take out the other one. Slowly clamp your hands on it and start to close the door. This will fall right off. Grab it, close the door, and set your panel to the side. Now that we have the bottom panel safely set to the side, we can start to remove the top panel. Now, as I said, the top panel has different size screws. They're all T20 Torx screws. So start on one side and start to remove them. Now when we start getting to this side, I'm going to use my side rested on here so that it can't flex. And I'll start to remove these ones. And again, keep your side there to keep the UI from flexing. It is just plastic. Okay, and then we will go ahead and remove the last one. And this is why I said to put your side underneath it so it cannot flop down, because as you can see, it very easily drops down, and now we have access to our components. Now that we have the console removed, we have placed it on a protective surface, and we can start to remove the control board cover. Now this cover is placed on there so that the wiring from the UI as well as the control board does not get moisture on it. It's held on with two screws here, and then there's a plastic kind of latch at the top. So we'll take the screws out. And they're just small Phillips screws. Now, once we have these out, we can separate this clip at the top. Just start to push and pop it off. We can lift this up and gain access to the user interface. Now that we have the cover removed, we can do a good visual inspection on our user interface here. Now, it is good to look on your actual ribbon cable and see if there's any discoloration or corrosion. That's very common as moisture tends to get into these boards sometimes, and it can cause it to corrode. Now, one thing I noticed when I took the cover off is that our user interface cable is actually bent because it was pressed in right here on this plastic, not in the designated area, and it would cause it to get damaged. So that is a possibility, and of course if one of the buttons do not work, well, then you're probably going to need a new user interface. Now, to remove your user interface, first we will just disconnect the ribbon cable, gently pull it up. Looks like we have a couple of Phillips screws that are attaching. So we'll go ahead and remove these, and just a couple of small Phillips. Now don't use a drill, as this is just going into plastic. The screws are meant for plastic, but you can easily break off the anchors that they go into. Now just grab the ribbon, start to pull up. It does have a locking tab over on this side. You'll have to lift up on that, pull out your UI, and set it to the side. When installing your new user interface, you will line it up just how your last one was. Now, when you're lining it up, there are kind of these little spikes that are going to go up in different portions of the board, and this is just to get it in the correct place. Once you get it there, push down. I highly recommend putting 2 fingers on this side when pressing down, because you are kind of flexing out some plastic here. So you don't want to damage the board when you're putting it in. Press down with 2 fingers. We'll go ahead and reinstall the ribbon cable. Now we'll reinstall the screws. Just be very gentle when reinstalling them again. It's going directly into plastic. Now we can reinstall the cover. When reinstalling your plastic cover, it's very important to, of course, move that ribbon cable over to the side, as if it is lifted up on the plastic like it was previously, it can cause it to leak. So we'll move it over to the side and start to line up your cover here. Slide in the back portion of the wiring harness, and then just start to press down. We'll clip in on the back, and that'll kind of hold us in. Make sure your ribbon cable is free. Reinstall our 2 holding screws. Now we can reinstall the console. When reinstalling your console here, first we'll bring it up, and we're just going to kind of place it in the area that it's supposed to be. We'll go over the top lip here, so make sure it kind of goes over. Clamp it, hold on to it, have 1 screw attached to your drill, and just gently put it in just to hold it up there. Do not let go of your hand clamp until you at least install a second one. So we'll go over to the opposite side. There we go. Now go around the perimeter and reinstall the others. Now give it a close, make sure it seats okay. Now we can reinstall the bottom panel. When reinstalling your bottom panel, first make sure you have your bit inside as well as your screws ready to go, because when we do this, it is very easily for us to damage the bottom panel. So what we'll do is the panel itself has slotted areas on these kind of small metal slabs here, and it will slide into these hooks that are on the door. So we'll put it on there and slide up. Once I slide up, I'm going to grab it and clamp it, open the door, and start putting screws in. So first, we'll turn it around. I'm gonna look on both sides. Okay, we will line it up. Lined up on one side, lined up on the other. Slide up, it will tuck underneath the UI. Use your fingers on the side to kind of open the door and keep it clamped so that the plate does not fall down. Keep it clamped on one side. We're just going to put in one screw. That's why I said make sure your stuff is ready. Now I'm going to get another screw on the drill. Come over to the other side. Do not let go. One side can fall. Put in the other one. Now we are safe to let go. Reinstall the two other screws. And this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click the like and subscribe to our channel.